Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Anyone? Tell me. Can you hear me now? Oh dear, that's embarrassing. Hello? Hello? Hey, we can hear you. Fantastic. Well, that's embarrassing. I just gave you my best spiel. What a shame. What a shame. All right, I'll start from the beginning. Hi, my name is Dale Davies. I'm the digital marketing manager for Exposure Ninja, and you're seeing me today on my own because I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything, so an AMA. Normally, every other Friday, we do a live website review session. I do that with one of our marketing consultants. That was last week, so the next one is next week. We'll do live website reviews then. Every other week we do webinars and we do discussions, or I take you through how we do certain things like SEO, content marketing, PPC, email marketing, social media, you name it, we can do it for you, and I'll show you exactly how that's done. But this week, as I say, it's just myself. The person who's going to be coming on, unfortunately, had to postpone today. So we'll be doing an Ask Me Anything. It'd be great to know where you're watching from today. We've got a couple of people asking, telling me where you're from India. Where else are you watching from? I'd be really curious to know. As I said, we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. So it's your opportunity to ask me anything about digital marketing or about SEO, which is my strength. It's where I spent several years of my career leading the team at Exposure Ninja. I'm also quite good at content marketing, if I do say so myself. And I can pretty much answer any questions you have. We are doing a giveaway. So if you have a question for me today, what you need to do is use the hashtag ask with your question. And I will pick somebody at the very end of the stream using this lovely thing here. I'll use this. Here we go. I'll use this to just pick some entries at the end. I'll pick somebody and you can win a copy of this. So how to get to the top of Google, which is still a bestseller in Amazon's lists. I will send you a paperback copy, or if you prefer a Kindle version, I can send that to you instead. It's completely up to you. All you have to do is use the hashtag ask with your questions. So all this in this corner. Use the hashtag ask and I will pick somebody at the very, very end. Cool. Let's take that off. Right, so fire away. I've basically got 60 minutes to answer any questions about digital marketing. So fire away. If not, I can just show you a couple of things that I like or love about digital marketing. Bit of background about myself. I've been digital marketing manager for Exposure Ninja for around about a year. But before that, I was the digital strategy manager. Prior to that, I was the head of SEO for a couple of years, leading the SEO team. And prior to that, I was a content marketer. So I did some freelance writing for businesses around the world, creating short form content, long form content, and then did some content for Exposure Ninja as well, which is how I led to being part of the team here back in 2015, I don't want to say. So this November will be my 6th year anniversary. Cool. We've got a question coming through. Right. Does buying a domain from Google Domains have a better ranking probability? Nope. Doesn't matter where you buy your domain from. You can buy it from Namecheap, Google. Doesn't really matter. And I know a second question to that is normally is .com preferable to a .co.uk or a .io or a .tk. .tk was like my first domain address back in the 90s when I was building my first websites. It shouldn't really make any difference. However, when you do studies and you look in the top 100 to see which websites are ranking the most, it almost always is a .com, mainly because those are the websites that people were purchasing first. So they've had they've basically got that longevity of being in the results for a long, long time. So they've had like 5, 10, 15, 20 years to earn backlinks to their website. And just want to say thanks to Freddie for jumping in to our chat and telling me that the audio was off there. My apologies for that. I haven't even had a chance to have my coffee yet. It's such a rush. So I basically I switched on the computer, got everything set up. So we've got some lovely lights here as well. And I didn't have a chance to even drink my coffee. So I'm going to have that with my lovely Exposure Ninja mug. Look at that beauty. Isn't she lovely? All right, so let's pour that. Cool. So who's got a question? What would be your optimal product landing page be? Optimal product landing page, right? So I've got a whole bunch of candidates that I really, really love, but the one thing is to take, well, I mean, a couple of things you need to take into consideration. First, you've got users on on desktop and you've got users on mobile. So gradually over time, the shift is going to more mobile users to your website with shopping. So people will browse and they'll be on Instagram or they'll see a product advert. They'll then shop on do some browsing on your store on the mobile, and then they might complete the checkout there and then and buy it, or they might save the address, come back to it on their desktop and finish there. Then there's the opposite where, some products is more likely that people will be shopping on a desktop instead because maybe a high ticket value or something like that. So you have to design for both. You have to first know your customer and design for them first. So if like 75% of your traffic is mobile, design mobile first. If 75% of your traffic is desktop, design desktop first. And then the optimal product page for me has got to be a combination of lots and lots and lots of high quality photos, preferably some videos in there as well. So a good starting point is to look at what Etsy are doing. So Etsy's whole thing is to sell you products, and what they're trying to do is encourage their sellers to really show off their products. So they get 7, 8, 9, 10 products all photos, different angles, different information about the product, as well as a video as well to show you what it looks like. So I'll just fire up my browser and I'll show you a product that I just bought recently, and I'll share that on the screen. I'll show you exactly what it is that I really like. So share screen. Let's try this one. Right. So I'm just going to get that added. Here we go. Make it nice and big so you can see it. Right, Etsy. So their whole game is to sell you stuff and to make you really enraptured by a product. So if I was looking for a learning tower for my daughter, let's see if I can find the one I bought. And I'll show you. So this is the one that I bought. And it's a folding learning tower, and it's got a high ticket value because it's constructed by hand, and it's basically it's a little bit more complicated than some of the cheaper ones you can buy, because I have a tiny flat and I need something that folds up and gets out of the way because I don't have space for a traditional learning tower, which is big and bulky and I have no space for. So I looked around, high ticket value. Etsy have added these features where people can basically get a better feel for the product. So we've got different photos, we've got different angles, we can see how things look. Let me just bring this down for you. Okay, fill the page. So you can see how it looks like when it's open, how it looks like when it's closed. You can see what it looks like in use. So we have a couple of kids using it on here. You can see like how it looks like kind of size-wise. It's not just a bland photo of a product. It's nicely done, and it gives you, it basically helps you to understand how that product will look like in your home or how you will use it. At the end of the day, that product is solving somebody's problem, and that's what every product does. So product page has to basically show how this product is a solution to whatever somebody's problem is. Even if that problem is, I don't have enough trainers in my wardrobe, I've only got 54 pairs, I need another pair, I need as much detail as possible. So you can see here they're adding all the kind of little interesting little bits you need to know or might not consider that will convince you that this is the product for you. So that you'll see that we've got different examples of colors, adjustable heights here as well, how it looks like next to a person, then back to the beginning, but also a little video just showing how it works. So hopefully this is coming through because my connection is not the best. It just shows you how it works, and you can do the same thing for pretty much anything. You really got to sell it like you would if you were in person. So an in-person salesperson would really like, here's what it can do, and you can do it. Like if you imagine QVC is like one of my best examples, they really know how to sell well. They do solution presentation to problems that you might not have even considered. So yeah, this is a really good example of what a product page looks like to me. It's the picture is huge. The information is shifted to like 1/3 of the page. You pretty much get everything you need to know in here, and you can look for more information in the description. But this is a great example of what a product page looks like to me. I'm trying to think of some other examples. One I've been looking at recently is Uni, who they sell pizza ovens. I'm really attracted to this brand. I really love what they're doing here. You can go. I love what they're doing above the page because they just take you straight to the range. Right, I want to look at the range. There's nothing else I want to do when I get on the homepage. Take me to the range. I want to see what's available. Might have a sip of that coffee I poured out. And then you get to look at it. So we have some high value products here. They're $300. Let's see the UK store if it will take me there. But you get plenty of information here. Shows off the warranty. Reviews, super important for convincing people that this is the right thing to purchase because everybody else is happy with it too. Your 3-year warranty is in here. Let's just make that bigger. Estimated shipping. All of the information you need to know, and we got plenty of photos as well. So what it looks like at different angles. We even got some like settings. This is how it looks like in your garden. This is the feeling. This is what it's going to be to use. You can put your pizza in. Look how good that pizza looks. The end results. It looks fantastic. It makes me I want a pizza too. Actually, I love a pizza right now. This is a great product page for me. They've got immediately just going with the add-ons as well. So you should never really just be selling one product. You should be trying to sell multiple products. That can either be add-ons. So you've got like the pizza peel, the thermometer. There's always an opportunity to upsell or cross-sell something else. They're doing it immediately whilst you're on the product page, even before you get to the add to the cart stage, which is another good place to do it. Or to the checkout, you should say, since you're buying this, get this this bundle of goodies for an extra 50 quid. And if you're spending 300, an extra 50 quid is probably going to be like, okay, I can manage that. I can manage another 50 quid. But this is another thing I want to show. Is like just add a video in here. You can get one professionally done, or you can just do it on your phone. Most of us have a decent smartphone that we can use and record mini videos. If it's just you selling a product, it's deeply personal. You can explain it in the same way you would in person to someone. If you're selling a product, you're clearly passionate about it. You could do something like this. It doesn't have to be super dazzly or something, but it does give somebody an extra way of knowing more about your product and being convinced that it's the product for them. So, lots of good photos, lots of, convincing stuff like guarantees, do some comparison against pizza ovens, chock full of reviews as well. So this is a great product listing page, in my opinion. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Back to good old me. Right. If you enjoyed that, stick around. There's more questions here I'll answer. And if you've learned something from that, just hit like down below. Doesn't matter where you're watching us from. It really helps us to reach more businesses or marketing managers like yourself. The next one on the list, what would you say has been the biggest changes in SEO in the last 12 months? So page experience, and there's been some big algorithm updates as well. So the ones in the last 12 months, there have been a few in December. There have been some scattered around like December, January, which is always a nice time to do algorithm updates. Thank you, Google. I haven't even touched this coffee yet, and I'm buzzing. There also has been some what we call broad core algorithm updates as well. So those are basically like a massive change that Google has done to the algorithm. They dropped one in June, they dropped one in July. Some websites, they went like this and saw a nice uptick from June and then another uptick in July. Some websites went along and had a dip in June, but then restored in July. And some websites had a dip in June and then another dip in July. Those things just come and they happen, and we can analyze those a lot. Sometimes they're to do with page speed. A lot of the time they're to do with content quality, and almost and always about content intent. So basically, what's the purpose of that page, and does it match the problem that the searcher is having? And is it genuine? Is it innocent? And what I mean is, like, are you trying to get people to an affiliate site? Google prefer to give you like a non-affiliated page, for example. There's also this page speed insight stuff as well. So this page experience update as well. So what that is basically they've been for a long time working on an algorithm update which would take into consideration how fast your website is in a number of different ways. That's quite technical, and you have to definitely have a partner who is a developer, or have one in-house, or a contractor, or for example, with our digital marketing campaigns, we often have an SEO specialist, a content marketing specialist, as well as somebody from website development to work with to work on your conversion rate optimization, stuff like that, so you can speak with them. But it's basically about how fast your page loads. Does it take forever? If it takes forever, you've got a problem. That's always been the way. But they're being more going more macro, more minute with like the measurements of, is the page loading and then a big picture pops up at the top, that's going to mess around with where people are clicking. So I'm sure we've all been on our phone and go to press something, and then suddenly a big ad pops up and moves the link further down the page, and you click the ad instead of the button, for example. That's the kind of thing that Google is trying to avoid ranking in the search results. So they've released this page experience update to kind of avoid slow websites or websites that do that kind of thing. So those are the main things that have happened in the last 12 months. Right. So you have a question about blogging. Do you think it's getting more and more important to have different formats in a blog post, such as a video or podcast, to increase ranking, increase engagement and ranking? Oh, absolutely. So I've been writing content for a number of years. I absorb a lot of content as well. The one thing I really don't like is to go onto a page that is lengthy and is hard to digest. I will sometimes just like there to be like a video at the top there which summarizes the page or just takes you through that, because I find it more engaging to watch somebody explain as in an animated way, in a way that perhaps I might do. Or Tim, for example, is great with his videos. He goes into a lot of depth and is very expressive with how he explains stuff, so it makes it a lot easier to understand. Having that in a blog post or training guide or whatever, it makes it much easier for people to at least have the choice of which way they learn. So people learn in lots of different ways. They learn through reading. Some people natively they prefer to read something and they will fully understand it. There are some people who hate reading, but they can do it. They do it in action and they will learn it straight away first time around. And then there are the third group of people who will hear something or watch somebody else do it or describe it and will learn that way. So the best thing to do in terms of like training people, so let's say you were coming to work with Exposure Ninja, the best way we can train you is to offer you all three, and you can either read about it or you can watch it or you can do it. The best way is to just do all three. It's the same with content. Some people want to read it, some people want to hear it, some people want to see it. So if you can improve your content to do all three, most importantly, you're helping that person more than helping Google. Google only wants to promote like good content. So if you have the best content that helps people the most, Google is more likely going to show your content than it is a really boring, dry piece of text with no images, no videos or anything. So that's why if you look for any of my blogs on our website, they're always crammed full of images, infographics, videos, podcasts, recordings, if I can drop them in. So hopefully that helps. But basically, create the piece of content that you think that you would want to read or watch or listen to. Cool. What are off-page SEO techniques? So on-page is basically the content you create, the links that you include within your content. Off-page is basically anything that helps your website's ranking, which is number one is backlinks. It's primarily backlinks and how many links you have to your website. So you have to imagine that a backlink is a vote of confidence in your website if it's a good backlink. So the more good quality ones you have, the more confidence Google has that your website is the one to rank. So it's important to build the right kinds of links. You can't just buy links, 500 for a $5 off Fiverr, or even 10 for a Fiverr, or just buying backlinks is not good. it's quite necessary to have a budget to have a partner or sponsor that links in some ways. It's better to have like a partnership. Maybe there's a financial aspect of that in the same way that, companies advertise to be mentioned in magazine articles, newspaper articles, stuff like that. But yeah, off page is almost entirely how many links you have to your website or how your business is referenced online. So Google has a large corpus, basically, and gathers all that text and figures out what your business is. So it takes the name and realizes that's an entity. Yes, they call it an entity. And the algorithm, it being smart machine learning kind of thing, starts to determine, right, X means that, Y means this, and this business offers this. So if let's say you take the brand name Exposure Ninja, Google goes across the web, and every time it encounters the word Exposure Ninja, it keeps a log and starts to decide or come to a conclusion as to what that business is, what it offers, who it represents. And that's why you see, like, when you search for, let's take movie stars, their names come up and it tells you all this information about it on the right hand side in what we call the knowledge graph. Well, that information is taken from other pieces of content around the web, blog posts and what have you, and they basically understand. Sorry, there's a very, very loud. There it goes. So yeah, basically it learns about that person. Same with brands, same with products, same about any kind of entity. So yeah, the better your website or your blog or your brand or your products are mentioned, Google will learn about them, and over time, it's not immediate, they'll learn what it is and they'll start to understand whether it's seen in a positive light, negative light, and so on. Hopefully that helps with your question. They're coming through thick and fast. My goodness, I can't keep up. Right, I've got a question from Tim Cameron Kitchen, who asks, with videos being shown more and more in the search results, what are your tips for businesses new to video? How has Ian used video to attract and convert? That's a great question. So you have to consider that YouTube is pretty much the second biggest search engine on the web. When people are looking for, let's say, a product review, they go to YouTube. They don't necessarily go to Google first. So if I'm buying one of these pizza ovens, I might go to YouTube and search for Uni pizza oven review. So you want your business to be there. So Uni primarily should be using that as a good place to get their brand seen. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have the videos created themselves. They might want to make sure their products are sent to the right people doing those reviews and get them reviewed to the when people do those searches that the videos appear. It basically gives you an opportunity to market yourself and put yourself forward. So in our case, it helps us. We put our videos out there so we can help people. More importantly, the most important thing, to help people. It helps us to promote our brand. It helps us to show people that we have a free marketing review, which you can request down here. Just go to explosioninja.com/review and you'll be able to request a review of your website and marketing. We'll take a look and we'll send you a 15-minute review outlining exactly what we can do to help your business with SEO, content marketing, PPC, whatever we think is best for your business to increase your revenue. Yeah. So basically, it's good to have your business out there answering those kinds of questions that people put into YouTube. So it could be a product review or how to do something. So another one that I've seen is people searching how to unblock a drain. You go to the videos in there and you see you've got all these plumbers talking about what they do. First of all, it's not guaranteed that those plumbers are going to be within your local area, but they might be using products that you sell. So for example, there's like this really cool plunger that costs like 15 quid on Amazon that I happen to have. Yeah, if you were the owner, the producer of that product, you just get it sent to these plumbers and make sure that they use it in their videos, and then you're promoting your business that way. But then, as Tim was asking, these videos are starting. Have always kind of been dropped into the search results, but more. It's happening more and more frequently. You're getting like a block of them coming up and as the answer to a query rather than the blog post, because Google has determined that that's the best type of content for people. That's people would rather see something, or they've analyzed that of the 1,000 people that have done this search query, 800 of them went straight to the videos, and 800 of them stayed there and got the solution, didn't come back to search results. So when they've decided, right, okay, that's the best kind of search result that we can give them. We can show them more videos. So the best thing for your business, depending on what products you sell, services you sell, might be to do videos. And again, as I was talking about with Etsy earlier and these e-commerce pages, you can do it on your phone. Really simply. It doesn't have to be, everybody else is doing the same thing. It doesn't have to be, super edited and dazzling. People aren't as fussed about dazzling videos as they are about useful videos that help them with their problem. And that's what businesses and marketing is really doing, is problem solving through content creation, videos, copy, and what have you. Cool. Bridget's saying my website is desperate need of your review. Well, I tell you what, go to here we go, explosioninterest.com/review, and you can request a review of your business. If not, come back next Friday. We do live website reviews, and you can get your submit your website for review, and we pick up as many as we can because we get loads submitted. We just try and pick out a few that cover as many industries as we can, or business types like lead generation or e-commerce and stuff like that. Let's check. I've got somebody watching from China. That's amazing. I can't even believe what time it must be right now. It must be pretty late. Don't forget, if you will have a question for me today, use the hashtag ask. Oh, what's going on there? And I will give one person a copy of How to Get to the Top of Google, which is our best-selling book, which is still in the Amazon top 10 lists after 6 years. This is actually the 2021 revision. So you'll get, the most up-to-date info about how to get your business on Google if it's not already. Somebody here, I want to learn digital marketing. I'm young and I'm 16 years old. Can I work in digital marketing? Absolutely. So you've got two options. You can either apply for companies for their junior roles, or you can start your own thing. So with you being 16, you may still be at home. You may still be at college, or who knows what your position is. You can do something like start your own blog about a subject you love. So how I got my start in the business is that in 2012, I went traveling with my now wife, and we were like, right, we're going to create a blog and we're going to document our travels so that people at home can see where we're going. That eventually turned into, other people should do this. This is amazing. I'll write some guides on how to travel. And that's how I got my start. I learned how to do SEO and content creation then. You can do the very, very same. And that's led me to where I am today. You can do the same thing. There's a subject, there'll be at least one subject you love. Write a blog about it. You don't have to think about domination of the search results. You can just start small. Start with a couple of pieces and think about, right, now I have this content, how do I distribute it? You can use social media, you can use video, or you can try and rank in Google. The trying ranking in Google is obviously harder because you have to think of those other components of successful ranking or successful SEO, which is the link building. Link building is hand in hand with successful SEO. You can't have a successful website without link building. But if you aren't able to join a business now, even if it's like an internship or a paid internship, or what have you, start your own blog. That would be my number one recommendation. Cool. If you learned something today, do make sure you hit like down below. It really helps me to know whether we should do another AMA in the future. And also it helps this video to reach more people, because YouTube will say, oh, people like this video today, we'll share it with other business owners or marketing managers or people who like digital marketing. Let's see. Is SMS marketing a good way for affiliate marketing? Oh, absolutely. One thing I really love about SMS marketing is that you can kind of budge people closer towards making that conversion. So, for example, let's say somebody gets to the checkout of a product they're going to buy. They're going to buy one product. They've got a basket full. Let's say they've got a basket full of chocolates, because I bought some chocolates for someone the other day. I get to the checkout stage, and I'm on my phone, and I enter my phone number, and I go, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do this later on the computer instead, because I want to just double check something. So I leave the website. They've recorded my phone number, and they can send me an SMS and say, I've got a 10% discount for you that you can use right now. Maybe don't send it straight away. They send it in an hour, 6 hours, 12 hours as a reminder. Hey, you left stuff in the checkout. Go back and we'll give you a 10% discount, 20% discount, whatever it is that you can afford to get people to make that conversion. It's worth noting on that point, Sometimes, depending on the products that you sell, it can be really worthwhile to really like give people a bigger discount at the beginning to get them in the door, and then you build up the revenue from that customer over a lifetime. So you may break even on the first sale, but then you get that lifetime transaction value of hundreds of pounds, hopefully, through getting them to do repeat orders or subscriptions. Another great thing now is that a lot of websites they offer a buy now or buy subscription at a cheaper price. So since we're on that subject of buying now at a cheaper price, let me just go to a website that I purchased from this week. Right. This is Happy Free From. So I bought some chocolates from this website the other day. I think, in my opinion, they could do with a helping hand when it comes to optimizing their e-commerce store. I love the art of this website, which is why I keep coming back for more. But also the chocolate is amazing. But yeah, they have sliders. Don't get me. Don't ever use a slider. Here's my number one tip. Don't ever use a slider on your website. But let's say I want to buy this chocolate. They've got free delivery on orders over £10. Fantastic. That's another reason why I bought with them. And again, this is the second time I bought with them because they do offer, they've done offers like this in the past where they did like a bundle for a reduced price. And I was like, I want to try it. I bought that. And now I keep coming back for more. They've got all this information in here. Where is it? Let me buy it. So when you go to when you go to the product page, okay, that doesn't go anywhere. This website is broken. Shop. Oat milk chocolate. Okay. Let me know in the chat. Do you like this this brand? I'm totally won over by the design. First of all, yellow is my color. And second of all these designs are just nifty. I really like it. Let's say I'm buying this orange chocolate, which is pretty darn nice. It's not here. Oh, here we go. Right. So purchase options. So again, not the best product pages ever. They could do with some work. But you've basically got this thing of like one-time purchase. I could buy it now for £12, or I can subscribe and save. So I get a monthly delivery and make a bit of a saving, and they lock me in for a long time. So a lot of businesses are doing that now. I'm a subscriber for like a coffee company as well, just because it makes more sense. I'm a subscriber for like Holland and Barrett because they offer like a discount and they send me like a free packet of what it is I'm subscribed to. Every 6th order is free, that kind of thing. It's worth them offering me something for free to lock me in for, well, I've been subscribing to Holland and Barrett for like 18 months now. Just 2 seconds, there's somebody buzzing my door. Yeah, okay. My wife's going to take care of that. Cool. Let's jump back into these questions. Right. Okay. Got a question here about how realistic would it be to rank a blog or personal brand around online digital marketing, as it's a very competitive niche? Quite difficult. I'm not going to mince words. It's really difficult because it's one of the most competitive industries you can enter. I mean, the only other ones that are more competitive, I'd say, are maybe online gambling, insurance, things like that. You've got people who've been in that industry for a long time, so you're basically having to do a lot of catch up. So you can start today and make waves and climb the rankings, but you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to make waves. You're going to have to do something different or offer something different to the other websites, whether that's to offer stuff that those websites charge for free. So like a course, let's say like there's a digital marketer who has a fantastic website with a course about how to do SEO. You could do the same thing, but for free, and offer it for free to businesses or charities, or give it some kind of angle, do something a little bit different. And then earn links that way. So get involved in the community, join Twitter, because that's where a lot of the SEO community hangs out. There are like forums you can go to as well. You can do that. You can basically just get more known, and people will link to your content because you can get involved and then say, oh, by the way, I did this thing. If you like it, share it. And some people will just natively, instinctively just link to it because they like it. That's how you kind of get forward of other websites ranking in digital marketing. You have to like do something a little bit different, or to do something that's already been done but better. So like Brian Dean is one of the most well-known digital marketers. He's not telling anybody anything that's really different from what people have been doing in digital marketing for a long time. He's just making it easier to read, easier to understand. He's making it long form. He would take his big thing is the skyscraper method. He would take all of the top 10 pieces of content, combine them into one piece on his own blog, and he basically just took something and made it better. So you can do the same thing, take something, make it better than everybody else's, and promote it as much as you can. Guys, lots of comments here. How keyword research tools tell accurate search volume and keyword difficulty? Is it real? No, it's an estimate, but they're based on data that they take from other companies. So each keyword research tool is different. Like Ahrefs have their data, Moz has theirs. They're basically taking estimates based on it's called clickstream data, which is companies pay people to record where they click, which websites they go to, and so on. So they're basically pulling all of that information out and doing estimates based on that. That's why they're all so varied to each other, because they're all using different data streams, and nobody has the information that Google has. Google records every search, of course, which is why we see that data in our Google Search Console. Only Google knows the answer, and they have made it harder and harder for us to get it from them. So before, they used to tell you, you can search for this. Let's think, inflatable double bed. And we get 10 people searching for that every month. Well, now they don't tell you that. They tell you a range. It's anywhere from 10 to 100. So it's harder. Some of the tools are worthwhile using, but my recommendation would be to just pick one and stick with one. Or alternatively, you can afford it, take multiple, combine them, and average it out. That's one of the things that we like to do, is we'll take multiple data streams and look for an average across, we'll pull in Mars, we'll pull in SEMrush, we'll pull in whichever data streams we have, and just average them out and see what's the what's the mean, what do people think it is. Cool. What is voice search SEO? So basically, voice search, everybody every year says voice search is the thing, it's going to be the next big thing, and everybody should be involved with it. You should be trying to capitalize on that. But the reality is there are lots of things that we're not going to use voice search for. So I'm not going to say, let's say I'm doing a dissertation, I'm not going to do Hey Google and get the information that way. There are lots of searches I'm never going to do on Google, but there are informational queries that I might do on Google. And if those search queries relate to your business, it's worth kind of trying to optimize your content to be the most likely chosen answer. And then, I don't know if this is what everyone experiences, I believe it is, but if you have an Android device like myself, Google will say, hey, I've sent you the link to that answer to your phone, and you can read it from there. So what you want to do is rank at the top of Google like you would if it was a desktop or mobile search, but for voice instead. So that when people are going to look at the answer, the website or the page that the answer came from, it's your website, not somebody else's. But I don't think it's going to be ever quite as big as people make out. Most of the time I'm using Google to set an alarm, or to turn up the volume, or to turn off the lights, or something like that. That's how most of it's used. Cool. Don't forget, use the hashtag #AskMeAQuestion, and you can enter a giveaway to win a copy of How to Get to the Top of Google, which I'll be giving away at the end of the stream. How are we doing for time? We've got 20 minutes. Super. And how many entries do we have? We have 3 entries. Let's have a look at this. Share screen. Chrome. Giveaway. Right. This is what we're working with. We've got 3 entries so far. So if you do want to win a copy of that, just make sure you use the hashtag ask with your question, and I will pick somebody at the end. Right, so look at these questions again. Cool. Just Jules's question about making your content more engaging, adding more formats to your blog posts, such as videos and stuff. Is it essential? Or can you have success with high value written content? I think you can definitely have success with just high value written content completely. But why not do both? I mean, as I said before, you don't have to do a super high cost video with fantastic editing that's going to win an Oscar or anything. It's just about having the video there is more important. So you can start off by having the video in there, just doing it on your phone or recording a webinar like this. So for example, I did a webinar. Hopefully you can't hear that noise. It's very annoying. It's a vehicle reversing outside. Come on, buddy. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, you can just start off simple. So just record it with your phone or do a webinar like this, record it, take the YouTube link at the end and just embed that in your content at the top. And if that works, if that gets people staying on the page for longer, right, I can do those videos very cheaply, very simply, very quickly early on. And then if that article picks up traction, I'll invest in a proper video later on. Like, for example, if you look at our videos, look at them 2 years ago and then compare them with this week's video or last week's video. The editing is completely different. The setup's all different. But we've got to this point because we've invested in doing videos from the beginning. So it's better to just put something out there and replace it later on. So yeah, create high value written content, but I would go the extra mile and just improve it by adding like videos, podcast recordings, images. More importantly, images are the least thing, the minimum I would do. And you don't have to get complicated there either. Just go to Canva. And you can use that tool for free. I will tell you now, every single image I create is in Canva and has been since 2014. So when I started doing, when I was still doing my travel blog and I was trying to promote it, I was in Canva creating images to put in Pinterest and bring people to the website. And that worked so simply. And I've been using it ever since. It's a fantastic tool. The free tool is great. The pro paid tool is cheap and is amazing. And every single social image that you see for our social media channels, they come from here. The thumbnails for our videos, they come from there. It's super useful. Just use a template in there or create something from scratch and just drop that into your written content. Deepash asks, how has business in digital changed for you during the pandemic? For us, really well. I think like the last 12 months, probably the best 12 months we've ever had because we've always been remote. I mean, well, since 2014, we've been remote. So for us, there was no change. There was no trying to organize how to run a team at a distance remotely. We were completely familiar with it. And one of the great things for our clients was that we were there to help our clients to adjust to digital as much as we could. So in some cases, we helped some businesses pivot into a completely different area of business. So they might have been doing office cleaning before or home cleaning. We helped them change to be like a COVID clean down company or something like that, as an example. So yeah, it's been good for us because there are a lot of principles that we have been following for like remote digital marketing or remote business management that we're already used to. So we were ahead of the curve, I suppose. What is the best advice you would give to someone starting off in digital freelancing? Just get started. Just get started. Get yourself onto freelancing websites like Upwork and what have you, and just you can try and wait around and try and get higher value gigs. But at the beginning, you're more likely going to have to do gigs for like lower than your eventual price. So you might have to do some cheap gigs to begin with. But then once you've picked up some reviews and you have like a bit of a name for yourself, you can start to increase your price. And what I would recommend, and this is I've not freelanced for a long time, but Kirsty Holst, who I really adore, she says that every time she gets a new client, she increases her prices by like 10%. And I think if you're a freelancer, that's a good way to go. Cool. So many questions, I can't keep up. Blah, 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 blah. What sort of backlinks do you think will still be relevant in 5 years? I think people have been asking that question for the last 20 years. I think all kinds of backlinks are still relevant. I know that people try and diversify them. So you try and get image links instead of regular text links or what have you. I think the same will be the case in 5 years from now. I can tell you that backlinks haven't really changed that much in the more than 5 years I've been doing digital marketing, or at least I've been in an agency for 5 years. The backlinks are the same as they were before. It's just the focus is more than ever on getting high quality links that are relevant to your business rather than just trying to cram in as many links as you can. Let's check these comments. And if you've enjoyed today, you're new here, just hit subscribe down below or follow or whatever it is on the other platforms we're streaming on. We're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on LinkedIn, we're streaming on Periscope, which means we're on Twitter. Should we add Twitch? That's up to you to decide. Do I still have my blog created in 2012? No. Do you know what? I do not anymore, which is probably a silly thing, but I let the subscription burn out. But that was doing great work for me, traffic wise. I really enjoyed doing that. It was the best learning round I could ever have had. Right, sorry, back to the questions. I can take personal questions too. That's totally fine. Cool. So Freddie, who's on our moderator for today, who I absolutely love as well. Freddie, I would love to have you on stream as well right now. Says that we should reach out to Happy Free from that chocolate company. I'd totally be up for that. What do you think would be the best landing page for a kids course? Well, best landing page for a kids course is to put forward what it is that you're trying to accomplish for those kids. So you want to outline what's involved in the course. Explain to parents or teachers or helpers, depending on who's being sold to. You want to outline exactly what's involved, so the syllabus, what's involved in the lessons, lesson plans. But you also want to counter that with, not counter it, but also add in something for people who still aren't sure. So you want to do like a kind of offer them a guide, link to a guide within that. Everything you need to know about buying a children's course would be a good thing to kind of back it up. Add an FAQ in there for any popular questions you get from people asking about like what's involved in this course, and so on. It's kind of difficult without seeing the actual course we're talking about, but you basically have to put yourself in the mindset of, if I'm the parent, if I'm the teacher, and I'm looking for a specific course, what is it I want to know about the course? So you want to basically answer all of their questions before they've even had a chance to ask you them. And that's what I would put in an optimal landing page. And to make it really optimal, make it easy for them to buy it or to get in touch with you to contact you more. So offer more than just one call to action. Your first call to action should be buy, or your first interaction should be get a free consultation or whatever it is, and then change it up in your halfway down, add a different call to action for people who still aren't sure. So your first call to action at the top of the page might be buy this course. The second one is, if you're not sure, here's a free consultation. And then you might end the page on here's a free guide on how to choose the right kids course for your kid. Is it possible to rank for keywords with a minimal traffic? Yeah, absolutely. My e-commerce site sells specialist products with low search volumes. Google ads are a nightmare. Hey, John, it's great to see you. Do you know, I should have been throwing these up on here. I feel so foolish. Okay, lesson for next time. Then that covers that. Don't have to do this. Boom. Right. So what was I saying? Smooth out there. Hello. Again, John, great to see you. So is it possible to rank for keywords with minimal traffic? Absolutely. The traffic doesn't really come into it. Maybe the question should be, is it wise to try and rank for keywords with minimal traffic? Because you might see a keyword, let's say you're using tools, which is not the best thing to, always the best thing to use, because a tool might say that your the keyword, the search query you want to rank for has 0 search results, 0 searches. The reality is probably that it's not 0, it's just they don't know or they don't want to tell you. If you believe that somebody is searching for that, rank for it or try and rank for it, because it's more important that you are appearing for searches. Even if it's one person per month is searching for that, if that one person per month buys £500 worth of your products, it's far smarter to be there than to just rank for only what we call header terms, which is like t-shirt is the header term, then sweat wicking t-shirt, no sleeves t-shirts. You get longer and longer words, or long tail keywords as we call them in SEO. So yeah, definitely it's better to rank for keywords than it is to not, especially if you believe that your clients are searching for them. Right, what else? I'm just going to highlight this because it's really a good idea. Why not go to exposureninja.com/review and request a free review of your marketing and website? And you'll get a 15-minute review outlining exactly what we do to improve your website and get you more traffic, more leads, and more sales if you're an e-commerce site. When I choose low competition keywords on keyword research tools, it's already ranked in Google to authorities. I'm not quite sure I understand the question. It's already ranked in Google to authority sites. Well, obviously, authority sites are going to be hard to outrank, but if you put in the time, if you got to get these people off the top, you've either got to put in the time or the money or both. So you're going to have to go in there and create the best content and replace it by sending, earning links through, building partnerships with people and saying, hey, if you like this, would you like to link to it? That kind of thing, doing outreach. Or you can pay to do a link building campaign where you're promoting something you're doing. You basically have to do time, money, or both. Even if it's low competition, it might be worth it. Even though that low competition score is coming from PPC ads. So if a tool says there's low competition, it means that nobody's bidding on that, in their opinion, that nobody is bidding on that search query. But that doesn't mean that people aren't searching for it. So for example, there's like the buyer's funnel. People do informational searches at the very top. Let's get a buyer's funnel up on the screen. Informational. Okay, this is decent. Let's get this one on screen. Nope. Open image. Right. This one comes from the Ahrefs. Ahrefs blog. Let's get that on screen. Cool. This comes to the Ahrefs blog. Let's make it nice and big. So basically, the funnel is awareness at the top through to conversion at the bottom. So people learn about your business, learn about your brand, and then they convert later on. The searches that people do are very similar to this. At the very top, they're doing informational searches. So how to unblock a toilet would be an informational search, and then transactional search would be buy cool plumbing tool or whatever, buy X at the bottom. So people are doing these zero competition informational searches at the beginning, and then they'll eventually buy the product. People aren't bidding on them because people don't think that search query is going to get them an ROI, so return on their investment. So if you're purchasing on a informational search at the beginning, it's more likely that people aren't going to convert straight away. So you're not going to see that ROI until later on. So people want to bid on, buy X, buy this thing, buy Lamborghini or whatever it is, buy a learning tower, which was in my case earlier, or buy pizza oven, are more likely going to want to bid on that, and that drives up the competition because more businesses are trying to earn that transactional search query instead. So you should definitely try and want to appear on low competition keywords if you believe it's one search that always happens or happens at 9 out of 10 of the people that search for your product. Cool. How do you sell your web marketing clients so they can do it themselves? How do you sell your web marketing services if clients say them do themselves? If clients say them do it themselves, let them do it. I wouldn't stop them because I think if they can, absolutely just let them. But in our experience, those people tend to come back in the end because in the case of our website development team, they're so talented. They have so much experience in building high converting websites all the time that, if that that lead or client isn't ready to make that start with the next step of their digital marketing, that, we find it better to offer them advice on how they can get to that point. So, if there are things they can implement for themselves, great. But our website development team is there to take them on to their next step of their journey. So that's the one piece of advice I would do there. So e-commerce, let's just throw this up. I haven't actually read it yet. So Jules, you've got some great questions today, buddy. Do you use many content SEO strategies for clients? I think SEO is looked down by brands, even though it compounds it. Yeah, like every single one of our, whether it's service-based, lead gen, e-commerce stores, it's always an SEO and content marketing strategy that we're using. We're a full-service agency, so we offer our campaigns are typically made up of all of those together. So they all interlock. So including PPC, our website development team doing conversion rate optimization for them as well. Our email marketing team, social media team as well, doing influencer work. They all need to work together. The best marketing uses all of them, in my opinion. You can get by with just one, but why get by when you can dominate and have huge, hockey stick growth by implementing all those channels, like somebody mentioned earlier. SMS marketing as a component of e-commerce can be great. E-commerce really has to have really strong email marketing as well. So yeah, every single one of our client campaigns is built upon content and SEO. How much time? Right, okay. Common question: how much time does it take to rank a new website? If you are new to SEO, you're going to hear this response a lot. It depends. It's the number one phrase of all SEOs, regardless if they've been in SEO for a year or 20 years. It really depends on so many factors. So you hear people talk about the 200 ranking factors that Google has. It's way more than that. It's probably triple, quadruple that number. There are lots of things that Google take, or whichever search engine you're using, Bing, DuckDuckGo, or whatever it's called. They are taking lots of things into consideration, whether it be content, how that content links within the website, how that content is linked from outside, how people talk about that website online, all that stuff. If you don't have all of that, it could take your new website a long time to rank. If you have that from the get-go, if you have a really solid SEO strategy and content strategy, you can earn those improvements quickly. I'm not saying in a week. Truthfully, I've seen that it takes at least 90 days, 3 months for a website to really start to see that increases. But really, honestly, as the years go by with SEO, it's taking longer, and not too long, obviously, but it can take me maybe 6 months for everything to sink in, and then you start to see that true growth. You can see initial growth, but true growth sometimes goes from 6 months onwards. It can take a year to really, especially if you're in a competitive space, can take a year or longer to nudge into the top 5, the research results, the top 3, and so on. So it's like in anything, the more you invest time or money, the more of either of those things you invest, the sooner you'll see results. But even so, Google's algorithm can take some time too. So I mentioned at the very beginning of the stream, the broad core updates. Sometimes those are the catalysts of increasing rankings that you may have had. Steady growth, but then a broad core update comes and you just have boom, you just go up. Cool. We've reached the end of the hour that I had assigned. So I need to do that draw to pick who is going to win a copy of How to Get to the Top of Google. Do you know what? If you haven't used the hashtag already, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do so. So here we go. I'm just going to bring this back on screen, add it in. Just drop hashtag ask in, and I will pick somebody. And then we'll get in touch and I'll get you a copy. So spam it if you haven't spammed it already. If I haven't answered your question, I'm really sorry. If let me know in the chat as well. Just give me a yes if you want me to do another Ask Me Anything in the future, or maybe I'll just do one monthly and you can ask me any question about digital marketing. It's completely up to you. But yeah, tell me yes or no, because it's all dependent on your response and how useful you find this. If you find it useful, then tell me with a like, drop a comment with it, and you say yes. That lets me know that I should do it again in the future. Right, I'm not seeing any more hashtag asks in the chat, so I'm going to hit draw. Draw. Good luck, everyone. Oh, Tim Camera Kitchen, what are you doing in there? If it's Tim, I'll redo it. Oh, Jules, fantastic. Brilliant. Great stuff. We've even got confetti as well. Well, Jules, congratulations. I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get to the Top of Google just as soon as I get your contact details. So if you email me at dale@exposureninja.com, that's dale@exposureninja.com, I will send you a copy of this paperback or Kindle, or, that's pretty much it, really. Just tell me which one you prefer, and I'll get it sent across to you. Again, thank you, everyone, for coming today. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe down below, and you'll get notified about future streams that we do, as well as our weekly videos. And also, if you've done that already, if you're already subscribed, what you can do is do me a huge favor and just share this video with one other person. Just drop it onto your Facebook, drop it onto Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever it is you happen to spend most of your time when it comes to social media. It would do me a huge favor, and I would really appreciate it. Cool. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. Love to speak to you. And take care of yourselves and each other. See you later.